Okay, hello, this is DJ MDX from ProDJForums.com, also from ClubMegamix.com, that would be Club Megamix Radio. And in today's episode, what I'm going to bring you is a short introduction to Serato 1.9. It was released as a public beta. It is not final. So Serato does give you a heat of warning to make sure that you back up your database, make sure that you test it out thoroughly before you use it, and they don't recommend for you use it for your live events. Now, with that said, I have used it for my live events. I have used it for my radio show. And what I have to report on it is that it's been rock solid for me in every aspect that I'm used to using Serato, and for the features that I have used so far, namely the sampler. That's one of the introductions. It's dubbed as the SP6. So this is something that has been introduced to Serato 1.9. It is in public beta, but again, use it at your own risk. I use it at my own risk, but I trust Serato, and it's worked perfectly for me. I haven't had an issue. I obviously do test thoroughly and continuously for hours at home in my own studio before I take it out in the public and I use it. So if it works for me when I test it hard at home and at my events, some of them are they're a little bit more laid back, and some of them are hard, but I know that it's going to work for me. So either way, again, this is Serato 1.9, and what we're going to be looking at today is the sampler. Now, it has 6 players, and I'm going to go to the players here real quick. So, and I'm going to go to player 1 just so that way you know exactly what's in each player. So you have the title of the track there. That's player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's the entire strip. Now let's see what's inside each player. Inside each player, what you have, see if I don't go out of focus here, you have, the name of the track. It's up at the top. You have your play button. You have the wave file, or the waveform, right under it. And you can see that little upside down triangle right under the play button. That's the play head. Then you have 3 different options on how you can use Serato. So, I don't have like a little pointer or anything, so I'm just going to point to what they are. So you have, that's option 1, option 2, and option 3. Those are 3 different ways that you can actually play the sample. Now, I'll get into that a little bit later. Then you also have your LED meter, and then you have your loop, and then you have an individual adjustment for your volume or your gain, whichever way you want to look at it. Now, that's the same thing on every single player, so you can see every single one is the same. And as we scroll all the way to the end, you'll also see that at the end you see that L, M, and R, and that basically means that's for your output. So if you want your output to be on the left, that'll be the L, M for the middle or for the mix, and R for the right. Now underneath there, then you also have a gain knob, and that gain knob is the master gain, so that's obviously going to be for all of them. Now, so you can trigger your samples the way that I choose to trigger mine. I trigger mine by MIDI. Now, some people ask, I am using a TTM 57 by Rain, and some people ask, can the TTM 57, can you use that to trigger your samples? At the moment, the answer is no, you cannot. Is it to come? Well, that remains to be seen. What I do choose to use is a NanoPad by Korg, and let me see if I can grab this so you can see it. See if I don't mess something up. I may not be able to grab it right now. Hold on. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out of this and see if I can go down to it. It's right down there. There it is. Okay. So you can see it's relatively real small. It's right on top of my VCI 300 that I just put on there right now. So that's what I use to trigger my samples with. And again, it's a Korg NanoPad, and that's what I'm using to trigger my samples. So let's go back up here to this. And what I'm going to do here, let me come out of some of this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you what it looks like when you trigger a sample. And first, what I'm going to do, and you should be able to hear the sound difference. I'm going to hit the first one, which is an instrumental. So there you can see that it lit up red, so that is the one that's playing right now, and you can see the playhead moving, and you see the PFL or the meter measuring the actual output through that PFL or LED. Now, the thing is if you notice, I have it on that very last one. So see, when I hit it, it's going to start it, and I hit it again, it's going to stop. Now, when you do the one in the middle, you do it and you hit it, you have to hold it down. So I'm holding it down right now. When you let it go, it turns off. Hold the pad down, let it go, and it turns off. Now the very first one rather, you click it and it plays all the way through. And when you click it again, this is kind of like what you can stutter. Now if you notice, when I did it, and you can do the same thing with your mouse. Now, if you notice that when I clicked it, it doesn't start immediately. Now, here is how you make it start immediately. What you want to do is it's going to start by whatever cue point you have set up. Now, I purposely have not set up a cue point on this one, so that way we can go through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually load that to my track. And as you can see there, now there's lots of ways that you can do this. Now, for the sake of the video, this is how I'm going to do this one. So I have it loaded there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see if I just want to make sure that I can get everything in here that you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put it in internal mode, and with my mouse, I'm going to drag that waveform right there. Now, what you can do is I have the other volume turned down, so and I have the crossfader over, so that's why you can't hear it. So let's see. Okay, so it should work now. Yeah, here it goes. So you can hear it. Before you couldn't hear it because I had the buttons turned off. So there, I'm gonna set it up there, and that should be the start of it. And all I'm gonna do is hit that plus, and that makes my first trigger. Now, if you caught it, and if it's still in view, which I'm sorry it's not, you can't see it there, but what it did, let me zoom out so you see that cue point there. Let me move over here, bring this down a little bit, and see if I can get it. Now, do you see that first cue point that it threw in there right over here? See that first cue point right there in red? Now it's the same cue point. So now if I hit that trigger and I have it set for the trigger part, watch what it does. That's me hitting it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way you can tell. See, so that is going to start right exactly from that cue point. And that's how you can set up a cue point if you need to set it up on the fly while you're playing. You can do it in the offline player. Like I said, there's lots of ways to do this. So it's up to you on how you want to set yours up. Let's see, so I guess that's good enough right now for this episode. I'll do some other things on it, and let me see if I can set up a little bit different on how some of these things are going to play.
Listening to DJ MDX on ClubMegaMix.com.
You're listening to DJ MDX. It's DJ MDX in the mix. DJ MDX on the ones and twos.
Listening to Club Mega Mix.
And this has been DJ MDX presentation of Serato Scratch Live. That is 1.9 public beta featuring the sampler, the SP6. DJ MDX brought to you in part by ProDJForums.com and ClubMegaMix.com. So if you're interested in spinning on the radio, make sure you check out ClubMegaMix.com, Club Mega Mix Radio. Peace out.